Hey everybody, Kevin here. I hope the first 2 months of 2020 is off to a great start. I literally ducked into an office here at GW, a vacant office, to record this because my team is kicking my butt for not recording it. But our whole new theme here at the Niche Movement for the first quarter of 2020 are stories of rising to the challenge. And so we just had a great post from our chief editor, Carmen, and we're looking for more posts from you. But for the last 3 weeks, as we had this topic floating around, I said, I have the perfect story that I want to share about rising to the challenge that happened to me in the last 3 to 4 months. See, based on my last video and update, you obviously all know that I became a father and a parent to my son, Noah. And with that, my wife and I started family through adoption. With all of that, we did not know when this adoption would happen. And so I had so much anxiety, worrying so much about how am I going to balance clients, client deadlines, projects, the people that work for me. How am I going to balance this at literally kind of a drop of the dime to go, start a family and adopt a baby? And long story short is we were given about a 7 or 8 day notice. But I do not have traditional paternity leave. A lot of people ask me that. I kind of make my own hours, my own schedule, and freedom and flexibility, which is a plus, but also can be a minus in situations like this. Long story short is when we got that notice, we knew we had to get down to Florida. Couple things that happened is, one, we were wrapping up a big project with a recurring client, and thank God that, one, they were so supportive and understanding, but two, that my team, Josh and Eric on the video side, were able to really run with that, and I was able to literally do stuff on my phone in the hospital parking lot, on a laptop when I had free time, but we ran with that remotely. The second thing is I remember on like November 9th going into a brand new client meeting with a brand new client, talking about all these project milestone dates, what we're going to do for them in December, January, February. And then literally a week later in our second meeting, I came in and said, hey guys, I have news that my wife and I are adopting a baby boy. And I remember being a little bit scared, not sure how they would react. But one, I was willing to be flexible with them and figure out how we're going to make this work. But I remember the one woman said, Kev, oh my God, it's so amazing. My brother is adopted. And the second woman said, you know what? Don't worry about us. I just came back from maternity leave. I know what it's like to have a newborn. We wish you the best of luck. The third thing that happened, though, is we had to stay in the state of Florida. And so my wife and I think, drove up from Florida all the way to Virginia in one shot, in one 17-hour day on December 11th. We got home at 2 a.m. and the very next day, I had another client engagement, a training up in Maryland that I had to conduct. And I remember thinking to myself, I could either A, postpone this into January, but that might, one, piss them off or make them upset because this was specifically a 2020 marketing strategy meeting, or I could just rise to the challenge, do this training on limited sleep, find the time in the car ride home from Florida to prepare for this, do all the work remotely, and just find that little window of time to prepare and execute this. Yes, it was the first time I was out of the house. Literally, Noah was 2.5 weeks old, and I was gone for almost a full day or half day doing this training. I was running on zero energy, but I rose to the challenge, and I was able to be a great client provider while also bringing money that helped us here into the new year. So it's not perfect. There's no playbook for being a working parent, specifically in the entrepreneurship space, but I made it work and I rose to the challenge. So that's my story. I'm very curious what your rising to the challenge story is, and we'd love to hear it.